Let's write with the stochastic fiction game. This writing game is about to start. As soon as we generate the stochastic fiction outline, this writing game will last up to 2 hours. Within that 2 hours is my hope to do whatever this stochastic fiction outline says and try to write it and read it at the end. And like that, it's been created. As we see right there, there's our story outline. Gotta tell us what to do today. And we have a timestamp here just to keep ourselves honest of when this actually started. And for our stochastic fiction game for today, it looks like we have these story elements to write a story to. And at the end, we'll read and rate it. For the setting, time, present, the setting, main location, mountains, conflict, person versus technology, quantity of primary characters, mini, point of view, second, tense, past tense, genre, science fiction, format, flash fiction. Well, those are our parameters today, our story elements for the stochastic fiction game. And so now it's time to talk out loud to try to find this story and write it within these parameters, within the time limit, and within the words of a flash fiction story, which can count anywhere between 5 to 1,200, depending on what publication you're trying to publish the flash fiction story to. I'm going to hopefully get around 600 to 800 words within this 2-hour time limit. We have second person. I've been writing a little bit of second person, so I'm not too worried about that, but it's still a challenging point of view. Present tense, that's great. I fall naturally into writing present tense. Characters, meaning, okay, person versus technology and the mountains, and setting time is present. We do have science fiction, so that kind of removes the timeline, but it can be placed in the second with a lot of science fiction. And the mountains, I guess the mountains is a good place to need to test out technology or run from it. Do a big AI scare, maybe. Excuse me. Coffee's a little strong this morning. It's coffee. All right, so technology. You're either creating the technology in private or you're hiding from the technology. You're in the mountains. I think automatically whenever I see some sort of dystopian sci-fi, they're always hiding in the mountains. And it was a good place to hide. At least for now with our advancement in human bodies. If we want science fiction, we could do aliens. That's a little bit of science fiction fantasy, though. Well, no, not necessarily, but they're not objectively proven to everybody yet, and in some ways they're still fantasy because we don't know what these aliens actually look like. Who knows? We don't. Some people may. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying that they don't exist to me because I've never met one. I think there's a high probability for aliens to exist. Just prove it. Quantity of primary characters, mini. Point of view, second. Tense, present tense. Genre, science fiction, format, flash fiction. And then setting time in the mountains. Let's try to make this let me go positive. I'm going to go for the non-dystopian look on technology that everyone seems to love to have because it's just an easy write, an easy story, and it tells and draws people in. But let's not go there. I don't need dystopia. We all live it. Why write about it all day? So let's try to avoid that. And let's just go science fiction positive, maybe. In the mountains, technology. Maybe they're inventing the next thing. Maybe they found harmony with the mountains. Doubt it. Human likes to warp and destroy. Oop, there goes dystopia again. Well, we found some humans that don't. Science fiction. I don't know. Challenging in my mind right now. Honestly, right now I'm having the thought of just stopping this today and not doing it. Struggling. so many other things where I've been editing some old stuff, reading over it, just proofreading. Because after you publish something, even if you've gone through an editor, even if you've gone through Grammarly or ChatGPT and all those things, there's always those subtle mistakes that you miss. And I've been going through that recently, so my ego is shit right now. It always is, but it's even lower. It even stinks more. So conceiving of a story within these 2 hours that's flash fiction readable is something beyond my mind. It always is, but today is a little bit different. Present tense. What are we going to do? Like, just going to type out a bunch of words and maybe a story will come. Maybe it won't. Probably won't if I just sit here and stare and don't think. And it's the you, which is cool. I like the idea of technology going against the you. There's many people. What the hell are you doing in the mountains? Maybe it's good. Maybe you're lost. You don't need to be hunted. Maybe you're having a good time. Just too easy to write that dystopia story. I say that a lot, and I mean it a lot. Zombie apocalypse. AI killing everybody. But let's not. Person versus technology. No, there is that conflict. Maybe they don't know how to use a thing. I mean, it has to be science fiction in the present time. So I got to have some sort of science that just doesn't exist right now and would seem like fiction, which is hard these days. We made some great advancements. And they may bring us peace, they may bring us love, and they may kill us all. But these things do exist, and that's where I would begin a story if I were having someone stuck in this nature, kind of fussing with technology and trying to use it to help them or save them. But this is science fiction. A time traveler, maybe? That might not be a bad idea. Someone who doesn't understand how to use their time traveling abilities, the tool. And that trope's been done before. Or didn't understand how the time traveling thing worked. I believe there was like that chaos. There's a couple of them. I'm thinking of Quantum Leap. At least the original. Never caught the replay. And Voyage. Yeah, there was some show where there was two time travelers and they did not know how to use the time traveling device. And so they always got in the wrong place at the wrong time, tried to right the wrong, like most time travelers do. I think this one person just doesn't know how to use it. And maybe it's in the mountains. They decided that they'll be like their safe zone, their go-to place. And so that might be fun. That could work. So the present tense, that's fine. It's science fiction, so it doesn't... I could just have mountains that exist now. And the mini will be a bunch of versions of yourself that this is sort of like their go-to spot. I don't know what else to say beyond that. It's where they would go if they suddenly needed to be safe or meet up with somebody. Kind of like if you get lost at a theme park when you're with your family, they usually designate some spot to say, okay, if you get lost, this thing that sticks out of the ground really high, just walk toward it and stand there and we'll come find you. And maybe this is it. It'd have to be some place that very significant historically, so they all knew to go there, because it's more than just seeing some sort of tall sign and following it. You're now dealing with location and time. And in the mountains, because that's what the constraint says, so let's write towards the mountains. So some sort of peak that's obvious. that you'd want to go to. It's got to be flash fiction, so I got to set it up. And I think, it's not going to be bad. Like, someone's not understanding how to use their time traveling device, so there are a bunch of versions of them show up in the mountains, and they're trying to blame each other. Maybe they get along. Maybe they don't get along. I don't know. Some days I don't get along with myself, so it wouldn't be so odd if they didn't get along. How many of them are there? How many of them of me are there? How many yous are there? Let's do a rendezvous point that is going to be familiar with at least the people in which I live around and the geographic location of my environment and my knowing. I don't want to write someplace that I don't know because it's going to be even harder to write fiction if you got to lie even more. I don't want to look it up on Wikipedia because it seems insincere and I don't know if I want to use that time to do so. So let's use a location that I know that could be famous to other people. That way it at least gives everyone a common reference to something. Pulls them in as a reader, or at least gives them some attachment to them. So in mountains. Yeah, Mount Rushmore. Now they're in the mountains. It's a location. You definitely have to go into the hills, the mountains, whatever we want to call those geographic. Those geographic. I'm gonna probably say some stupid stuff today and use words that, if you're pedantic, you're gonna be annoyed. I'm not. As many architects and engineers tell me, I'm not pedantic enough for them at times. How many U's are there? So if I did maybe Mount Rushmore, that's famous. The one from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, what was it? Devil's Tower. Ooh, yeah. Stand at the base of Devil's Tower. And this you, I don't know, man. It's like you change I with you. I don't want to do it that way. You stand. Like a flash. A shimmer and a flash. I just got sidetracked. I started thinking about work and code. That's not fun. Let's think about a shimmer and a flash in time travel. That's more fun. Unless you're writing code to time travel, that'd be fun. I don't know how that would happen. I'm sure AI will do it someday soon. A shimmer and a flash. A mountain. Devil's Tower. Appears. Rising into the blue sky above you. Okay, we know where we're at. Is this time machine time? It's like we'll throw it out there. I'm gonna maybe do a loose ending. I'm just gonna try it out. Let's see. I don't know where we're gonna go with this. What's the day? What's today? Boom! It happens today. There's a lot going on in the world. This is probably, um, yeah. Let's just go with this. 2024. You mumble. You read the timepiece. If I remember right, the one I'm thinking about, I can't. It was like Voyager. It wasn't. It was before the Star Trek Voyagers, but I can't remember. That was Voyagers. There's two people, a young kid who got caught up in an older dude's time traveling to save the world, and I believe it was an actual little timepiece that like would go red then green, like the typical time traveling story. They're heroes to set time right, and in many cases, they have to do it because they're trapped in the system. Because you want to make sure there's no way for them to get out of the system. You read the timepiece and mumble, so I don't have to like write numbers. That'd be boring as hell. For me at least. If you're down with that and you want to do that, go for it. 2024. Then October 10. And it's going to happen during noon. Because you want that. You want the time, right? Like, if you rendezvous. And now you got, so we set up some, I don't know. So this would be the first paragraph, I think. I gotta set up all the conflict. I got, at least got a scene. I got time. I got a place. I got a location. A shimmer of flash. Devil towers appear rising into the blue sky above you. You read the timepiece. And mumbled. I think there's a lot of open ground around. You read the timepiece and mumble. You read the let's give a little bit the golden timepiece. Let's just like you give that flavor of gold. Like that makes it even more important. Because gold? Because it's shiny, it's malleable, and you can shape it around things and look pretty and important. Gold. Intrinsic value of greed. Golden timepiece and mumble. 2024, October 10 noon. Now, conflict. And hundreds, and another you appears a step away. Wearing the same clothes. Everyone's going to be wearing the same clothes. Like I'm trying to, right? That's always I think, what were the time travelers? There was, when you did it with Quantum Leap, you went into someone's body. So you inhibited them. With the other show I'm thinking about, they flew through space and time and appeared as themselves. And I think always wearing the same clothes. I think one was dressed like a pirate or something, swashbuckling type. If I remember. Right, God, now I'm going to have to go look at that at a later time because I just don't want to waste more time thinking too much. That was interesting. So I'm just trying to think time travel. Then there's one where like you're sleeping and you go in like maybe not time, but I think a lot of them are like quantum. Well, Quantum Leap was one of the one, but quantum travel to where you're going into a different dimension, different reality. I think that's the new trendy time travel type schema. You know, now that we have more understanding of science and possibilities, you're going to change how time travel works. Another you appears a step away. Wearing same clothes. Wearing blue sneakers. Blue jeans. And like, because you'd want to wear something. If I were a time traveler, maybe I am, I just don't know it yet. If I were a time traveler, I mean, I'd start my base mission with the most generic clothes possible for the biggest time frame, which would be like pants, maybe not jeans, and a t-shirt and a white button t-shirt, like me, like you. Okay, let's do this. Let's pause. I gotta think of this narrative. I don't want to like have the basic. I want to let's make this not my typical love of subject verb object sentences. Good for AI, boring for a narrative. People don't talk that way, and narratives always don't have to be written that way. A shimmer and a flash, Devil's Tower appears rising into the blue sky above you. You read the golden timepiece and mumble 24 October 10 noon, and another you appears a step away. You wear... Are you wearing sneakers and blue jeans and a white buttoned-up shirt like you? Sneakers and jeans. Just go jeans. Let's just go sneakers. Let's everyone, wearing sneakers and jeans and a white bottom. No, let's not go there. And a white bottom shirt. And a white white button shirt. It's not a t-shirt. Why would you put buttons on a t-shirt? That's... I guess if you're really good at fashion, you could probably pull it off. I could not. Why put buttons on a t-shirt? Are you wearing sneakers and jeans and a white button t-shirt like you? You look at your timepiece. Okay, so this might be fun. This isn't horrid, but it's not good. There's conflict, though. I really don't. I guess there is a little bit of conflict, at least in the story. Like, I could put it in the first sentence here. Another you. I mean, wouldn't they all appear at the same time, though, right? Or maybe everyone has, yeah, they would. Like, they'd all be there. Like, if you had a rendezvous at noon, it's not like they're waiting. Like those anyway. Time travel. In this case, they're going to appear... another you wearing sneakers and jeans and a white button shirt like you. Another you appears a step away. Another you wearing sneakers and jeans and a white button shirt like you. Another you wearing sneakers, jeans, and a white button t-shirt like you. They all appear at the same time. I'll put them all. Mini you. So that's, I just got to set it up that way because they all appear at the same time. You read the golden timepiece. Above you. A shimmer and a flash, double towers appear rising into the blue sky above you. And you read the timepiece after. That's the last thing. This is just the opening paragraph. Fun times. But we at least have some sort of subject. We're what? If I'm looking at the process time, we're about 26 minutes into this. So let's just continue this on and finish the story. I got to finish the first paragraph, set up the conflict, location, pretty much almost most of the story that I can get away with. This is going to be a flash fiction story according to the stochastic fiction outlines output. It'd be in kind of, no, I wouldn't want to try to write a first, middle, or ending chapter with this. I'd be too tempted to continue on with it or throw it away. This I can at least maybe get out of my mind and move on with life. It won't be dystopian. It'll be, the weird thing that happens. But why? I mean, what's their motive? They're trying to fix time, and they realize that's it. I got it. You're trying to fix time. Okay, this is what we got to write to, is to fix time. And you realize you need to fix yourself. I like that. I like that. I think it's going to be like that typical if there is some sort of quantum anomaly or agency that somehow can put you in a location where it's going to serve you to help that timeline. Because that's what at least a lot of the time traveling things that I've seen and been exposed to. It's always trying to correct it, make it better, avoid the thing that everyone knows is going to happen because it's a time loop. This trigger puts all of the different scatterings of them throughout the dimensions and time into one location because they got to fix themselves. A shimmer and a flash, double towers appears rising into the blue sky above you. You stand around other yous. I'm gonna give that. I don't know. That's maybe not that. So now I have to think if there was some like trigger that would put you in a certain location, so you could meet, I don't know, with your guider and get you out of time. Or, yeah. And you called everyone back from times and put them there. Because I'll probably go off like the idea of, this, they may be wearing different clothes is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to have more of the same clothes now, but then you're going to have to think, I'll have to. I'm the one creating the story, but the royal you, I suppose. I don't know. So you stepped away from the golden timepiece. So we got at least you stand around. I got to figure this out. Other U's wearing. It's going to be on like. Long underwear. Overalls. Plate mail. That's an obscure one. A bloody apron. Let's say, let's just do like 4. Long underwear, overalls, and more. And what? Let's just go with that. I'll use the serial comma. It still unnerves me. I still hate using it. I'll still never change it with the book like the Detective Store. So a shimmer and a flash, double towers appear rising in the blue sky above you. You stand with around other youths wearing long underwear, overalls, and plate mail and more. One you wears sneakers and jeans and a white button shirt like you. Okay. That might, maybe, you know. We have an end. We have a beginning. Okay, so now I need to get there. Like, who's like, would be a name of a thing who have like an agency, right? That's able to control time and space that you can consult. What was the other one that God, what was that? That was one of the best time travels I've seen too. It was recent. Oh man, I wish I remember the name of that time traveling one. The way they did it was, like I said, one of the best sort of time travel conflicts I've seen. I wish I remembered the name of it. Let us do. You read the golden timepiece. I'm old 10. Okay. Rendezvous. Prime. The mumble. Sorry about that. I got to think of the mumble here. So, excuse me. Okay, so this is where I'm not exactly certain where I want to go with this. I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta have the mumble because I'm thinking you're all gonna do it. Where I wanted to go with this or not wanted to go with this was to think, do I want to have it in like different languages and be noticed, different accents? Maybe, like that's where they would be. And you'd want it to adapt, right? If I were a time traveler, I guess the one who has the most nimble mind and can lie the best would the one that succeed. In and Mandarin, and American English. All right. So you're still trained. You're still going to do it, whatever timeline or tangent that particular version of you went off on. Wouldn't they have thought this would happen already, though? I mean, this wouldn't necessarily be an anomaly. Maybe they realize it's not an anomaly, and this is just the process of what happens when you get yanked from this job. If I made it a job, more people would be able to relate. It's just someone doing work. Whether you hate it or love it, whether you have it or don't, it's a driving force in our lives. That's never going to change. I think humans just like to work until they're entertained enough and just sit on their ass. But if they don't have that entertainment because they're not working, they'll create it. Maybe. I don't know. Off on a tangent doesn't necessarily need to happen right now. Is it a job? Yeah, it is a job. How does this... Okay, I got a decent setup. There's a bunch of you now. Okay, so I need to have dialogue with somebody? Well, there's Prime, you think? You think, and the use... The mumble echoes from U's in French, Mandarin, and American Southern. Where's Prime, you think? And the U's look around looking for Prime. We'd all talk at the same time and answer the same questions. So I don't necessarily have to have like a conversation. It would happen. But it's like you'd still be talking to yourself. Now, would the life changes that exist in this time traveler affect sort of variance in it? Sure. But then how am I gonna would need to in this story drop hints that there's some message that's found during this conversation that real makes this person realize they're broken in some way. And that's the fixing yourself first. And this anomaly would be known. I'm assuming this is what maybe this is the first time. Who knows? It could be if it was the first time, but then I'd have to explain it. No, I wouldn't. If it was an anomaly, it was not an anomaly, or it's happened before, and it may still be it wouldn't really be an anomaly if it's happened twice. Maybe it's still an anomaly if it happens a third time. It's a pattern. So how do I get to, I guess the search for identity would be overarching theme. Person versus technology, though, not self. I guess that's all it is, a reflection of you. But I break. And you all tap the timepiece. Is it broken? It'd be like use. Discourse. No, discourse happens after, right? Dissonance. Dissonance, would it be dissonance? Not really. UTC Prime. Questions in languages. Different versions of you. Could this be some deeper? I mean, maybe, but I don't know if it's gonna be that good. I'm just aiming for science fiction. But you were starting to write into this concept about in this, I guess, day and age of technology, the many different personas you feel you have to create to be able to interact with more people than I had when I had to grow up, and adults around me. But also still have that, hopefully, identity of yourself. I don't know if I could fit all that in here, even if that made sense, what I just said. So do you see Prime? Questions in languages were like ripples. Questions in languages. Spread like... No one answers. You don't answer. And you don't want to talk. I don't know. I'm stuck. I think this is neat. This would be a better first chapter. Then I could just be like, I'll fix the end. So the stochastic fiction game for the day was flash fiction, not novel first chapter. So this has to complete. I have to get to the resolution. That is a resolution. What are you going to do your next one? What would be the trigger? Time fragment. I have no idea right now. I got to get there. I got to get to that end right there. At least as I see it in those words and in my mind. You stand and look. Time fragments. How do you spell rendezvous? Rendezvous. Revenue, not Ron. Oh, yeah. The word I never spell right. Rendezvous. A meeting, an agreement, a time and place, typically between two people. The rendezvous. Excuse me. That could be it. Now I go into some like, am I fired? Let me just use thought. Let me do this. I'm just going to start using this more often in my life as we are able to soon talk through our minds. With our minds. Excuse me. Use the timepiece. Is it broken? Use tap your timepieces. Am I fired? I hope this still fits. It's still these present tense, the second person. Let's look back at the story elements. It's present, sure. It's science fiction. It could be time travel, but what's happening in the present? I got that as a day. In the mountains, sure, Devil's Tower. I'd call that mountainous region. Persons versus technology. This is a little bit. I think technology is a reflection of ourselves, and this is just reflective of how much we. I hope so. I don't know if I'll get it on this right, but maybe right toward the how technology fragments us ourselves. We put on these different personas, even depending on what platform. Sometimes we're forced in these personas because of their restrictions or whoever is in ultimate control of that data stream, that data flow. So point of view, second tense, present tense, science fiction, flash fiction. I think I'm hitting those marks. I just need to write the more of the story, and I've got an hour and 4 minutes left, and I'm comfortable using that. Heard their layoffs. Excuse me. Sorry for that. I don't need to have these cased as having this case to better frame a thought, but I'm going to use my thought marks like they have right here. And that way then I can just lower the case here. It doesn't seem like it's and put more emphasis on the emergency rendezvous. I fired. Can I be fired? Let's connect this someplace. You look at each other and shrug. Yous look at each other and shrug. Your mission is to fix time, and you realize you need to fix yourself before. That's dystopia. A job. A job to do a thing. Am I fired? Heard there are layoffs. Can I be fired or laid off? throw out those two words and leave it for science fiction. Yous look at each other and shrug. How you gonna? I mean, how you gonna? I need to just bring it to the end statement. Is down. Is the fixed time. Fixing yourself. What's there to fix here? I guess it made it easy. If you have many characters and they're all technically the same character, and you're making this grand assumption that it's your timeline, it's your fiction, so I can do what the hell I want, I suppose. But still has to play out in the narrative. But this idea of all the yous, because they're you, because they are triggered in the same way that you would be, no matter how long they lived in another timeline. So this is a mature you, harder to change. That they'd all be having somehow some sync conversation, or being and acting the same way upon this discovery. And now I need to write. I realize that what am I trying to get at here? Like, what's the grand story? What's the takeaway besides, oh, it's neat? You have a wonderful imagination. You look at each other and shrug. What's there to fix here? Yous look at each other and shrug. What's there to fix here? Where's Prime? Prime. Wherever you are. Prime. House for many of you in languages. I should be shut up. Wyatt. No, they would all know that. They wouldn't shout out Prime at all. They wouldn't be loud. They'd start to go quiet. It'd look really weird, right? We can't be seen here. You shift and look around, peering along the plains. Like I've never been to Devil's Tower before. I've seen it in movies. That ain't the same. I'm not going to look it up right now. I'm just going to make some assumptions that there's along the scree slope. The cropping the trees. We're on the parking lot, and what are those, like the forest ranger station? Ranger station. And what's the other? Yeah, tourist. I'm just gonna. That's such a boring sentence. Just throw out the pillow for someone to go to sleep with that sentence. You shift, maybe this whole story is that way, or maybe they don't want to be asleep, they just want to get rid of it. You shift and look around, peering along the scree slope and the cropping of trees around the parking lot and forest ranger station information building. Dots of people. So you're caught. Like, how are you getting out of here? You're like, what? Now I got to think of some like not institutional, some documented process. Yeah. Dots of people. To pave trails. You scurry. You step from the edge of the scree into the forest trees. All right, so now there's a bunch of you, and you've just cleared out the area, and you still haven't figured out, and nothing's happened. So something triggered. I don't know what. This prime character, I gotta create a whole time traveling method if this could be a job. I mean, most of the time, like I feel. Yeah, I mean, there's a book recently I read about a time travel. I can't even remember the name of it. It was a pretty interesting take. Yeah. Always jobs. That's what I was going at. It's always like I'm working a job. Even in like 12 Monkeys job. That was getting free from prison, but you're still working for an achievement of something. Like, get me out of prison, I'll go do time traveling. Or I want to fix time, right? That's the other popular one. You step from the edge of the scree slope into the forest and trees. I guess maybe if you're seen and from another timeline you disappear. I don't know. It's like some quantum entanglement stuff. You make up your own science fiction so we can do whatever we want. We being rural, you meaning me. Hiding and repeating in mind. Maybe they don't. Well, I'll set up this rule, and I need the reasoning while they're going to go show themselves. Observation of many makes one. I don't know, like I'm thinking of just how crazy quantum physics is as I vaguely understand it. That the states exist when you observe. Sort of this idea of, I think it's the light, is it particles or waves? Both. Depending on how you observe it, can we explain it? Using things like that where observation almost seems to be a trigger for existence. If I understand it right, which I probably don't. But it doesn't matter, this is science fiction. So observation of two or more makes one. That's two or more time. Repeating in mind. Real tool of time. Rule 3 of time travel. You want to be the one. You stand and crouch. I hear. You stand and crouch, sweat drips. You're gonna near someone in a swimsuit. Your sweat drips. It's gonna trigger this. Yes, anything with agency. But we're gonna have it. We're not gonna go down that road. We're just gonna make it a human. That way, I don't have to say if this is a novel. Yes, this is not. You stand and crouch near the you in the swimsuit. Your sweat drips from noses. A few of you walk the winding paved trail. Walk near. Oh, come on. They see 3 of you as you walk. Oh, you watch from the trees. Within a blink, only one of you exists. Time travel, yo. 2 or more makes 1. Maybe. Maybe not. You step from the edge of the screen, the trees, forest, hiding and repeating in the mind rule of the quantum. Hiding and repeating in mind the rule of the quantum. Rule 3. Hiding and repeating. Mentally mumbling. Rule 3 of the quantum U. Time travel manual. Observation of 2 or more makes 1. You want to be the one. Or a one. You standing crouched near you in a swimsuit. Behind a tree. Your sweat drips from noses. A few of you walk upon the winding paved trail, stone's throw. They see 3 of you as you watch from the trees. Within a blink, only one of you exists before them. It'd be the one that they most recognize. It'd be cool if I could put the 3. Rule 4. Rule 5. If 2 or more. Observation makes 2 or more. Observation of 2 or more makes 1. Rule 4. Observers. Choose the one that's most real to them. I mean, it's the time travel, it's, yeah. And so I can set up it is time. I have about 41 minutes left. I'm close to something. Maybe. I have Mandarin's not spelled right, is it? I'll get that later. I don't have time. Rule 3, observers can choose one of the most real. I did. What am I supposed to fix? They see 3 of you as you watch from the trees. Are you wearing... What am I wearing? What's unreal? A space suit. wearing a I don't know. Suit and tie. Only the you wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, it happened fast. That way they're like, did they really see 3? No, it's just 1. Use run from the trails and hide behind bush and rock croppings. The 2 teens watch the you in short and shirt and shirt and shorts walk away. Becoming their prime. So if the teens won't see anybody else, if they see them and they'll blink them away. Everyone ducks, use duck and hide. And the teens continue on their way. Stand. And peer into the forest. Blinking away 3 more U's. Before one slaps the other. Says you're it. And runs the trail. What trigger they use? I feel like I don't know what I feel like. I feel like there's a story here, maybe. Trigger this. One by one. What do I need to fix? If I'm not fired. Okay, I'm gonna. What do I fix? And then you realize you feel it. You see it. Using boxer shorts and a leather bodysuit. Walk the trail after the kids. That's awkward though. Let's just say business suit. Like having some let's just say they're in a wetsuit. Boxer shorts, let's go with, I'm trying to think of like period. Pantaloons. I think pantaloons is pantaloons maybe. I wonder if they're wearing pantaloons. Are you using pantaloons and blouse? Walk the trail, not after the teens. Then you feel it. Then one. Then mini U's. Stand. And follow. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody but me, but that's okay. For now. It's not published in some sort of novel where I at least expect some sort of, reaction of something. And then you feel it. You see it as you in a pantaloon and a blouse and you in a wetsuit walk the trail after the teens. Many of you stand and follow. Your job. I don't know if this makes sense. Your job is to fix time. Yeah, this is not. This could be longer. It's a neat story, but well, It's the story. Call it use. It's got words. It has, in my mind, I've been talking a lot, and I've at least built up some possible fiction that there's a story here. And that's going to be good enough for right now. Let's read this aloud. And let's read aloud the stochastic fiction game story elements that were randomly generated for today. And we're well within our start time, but we don't always have to take the time. And I don't know if I could dwell on this too much longer without just thinking, yeah, I think it's there. Close enough. For today's stochastic fiction game story elements, we have setting, time, present. Setting, main location, mountains. Conflict, person versus technology. Quantity of primary characters, many. Point of view, second. Tense, present tense. Genre, science fiction. Format, flash fiction. I'll rate it 1 to 4 at the end. The definitions of those ratings, I want to rewrite someday. Keep saying that. Well, I'll probably keep saying it. For today's stochastic fiction game, the story is called Use. This is Use. A shimmer and a flash, devil towers appear rising in the blue sky above you. You stand around other yous wearing long underwear, overalls, plate mail, and more. A you wears sneakers and jeans and a white button shirt like you. You read the golden timepiece and mumble 2024 October 10 noon. The mumble echoes from yous in French and Mandarin and American Southern. Where is Prime, you think, and yous look around looking for Prime. Yous tap your timepiece. It's broken. Do you see Prime? Questions and languages spread like ripples. You stand and look. Time fragments at energy rendezvous, you think. Am I fired? I heard there are layoffs. Can I be fired or laid off? Haven't we fixed that in some dimensional timeline? Yous look at each other and shrug. What's there to fix here? Prime. Where are you? You can't be seen like this. You shift and look around, peering along the scree slope and the cropping of trees around the parking lot and the forest ranger station, the tourist information building. Dots of people walk from cars to paved trails. What triggered this? What do I need to fix if I'm not fired? Or you step from the edge of the scree into the forest trees, hiding and repeating, mentally mumbling Rule 3 of quantum time travel manual. Observation of 2 makes or more makes 1. You want to be the 1 or a prime. Yous stand and crouch near a you in a swimsuit and behind a tree. Your sweat drips from noses. A few of you walk upon the winding paved trail a stone's throw away from you. Running teenage kids run, laugh. They see 3 of you as you watch from the trees, and you wearing a spacesuit, you wear a suit and tie, you wear shorts and a t-shirt. Within a blink, only the you wearing shorts and a t-shirt exists before them. Rule 3, observers choose the one that's most real to them. Yous run from the trails and high brush and rock croppings. The 2 teens watch the you in shirt and shorts walk away, becoming their prime. Yous duck and hide. The teens stand and peer into the forest, blinking away 3 more of yous before one slaps the other and says, "You're it." The teens run the trail. What do I fix with so many yous? And I feel it. I see it. As a you in pantaloons and a blouse and a you in a wetsuit walk the trail after the teens. The many yous stand from and follow. Your job is to fix time, and you realize you need to fix yourself and find a new job. I don't know about that story. There's a lot of potential for it. There's a weird end. I don't know if it's going to come through when I read this again. It makes sense to me now. It doesn't seem fully resolved because it's left in the mystery. Potentially. Maybe. Let's rate this story and move on with life. Think of other stories. This is not bad. This is fun. I'd do it a 3. Feeling a little confident. I like to use. It's a different take on time. No, it's not. It's a similar take. I'm just taking things from other fiction, other stories, with a lot of pseudoscience. Let's go 4. Or 3, rather. I don't want to give myself that much credit in life. Not today. Maybe if I had a more clear connection. I don't know. It feels good. But I'm just done with it. Well, such was writing and such was time, and let's end this right now. Until that next time, give writing a shot. It's kind of fun. You'll never make money, and it may never be read, but, well, at least there's a story that may exist that didn't exist before.